Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? With dust on the throne. Guess who's back? Hey everyone, it's Azora Hype here, and I'm super excited to be hanging out with you today on this Thursday afternoon or Thursday night or wherever you are in the world. We got a fun one today. We're gonna have a little bit of story time, and we're gonna talk some Game of Thrones season 8. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce the sexiest man in the realm.
Wouldn't say that.
We have James from Dust on the Throne. What's going on, my man?
Oh man, not much, man. Thanks so much for having me on here. I've been looking forward to it all week.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while in the making that we've been planning this. We haven't had a live stream together. Have we ever done a live stream together? I don't think we have.
No. You interviewed me at Con, and I think that's the only time we've been on together.
But today's going to be fun. We'll talk. We'll give you a little sneak preview of what we're going to be doing at the con together as well, and we'll talk a little bit about season 8. But yeah, just for people that might not know you, James, can you talk a little bit about yourself, man?
Yeah, man. My name's James. I have a channel called Dust on the Throne, and most people know me though from being on a channel called Smokescreen. I am Chris's sidekick on there, and we do live Q&As every Sunday night. And then, you know, I always try to throw out a video every week. And now that I've left my job, I'm trying to up the ante and put out more videos and actually do some editing stuff. I got Chris and Kyle helping me with that. So we'll see how that goes.
You know, it's funny because I started off with Windows Movie Maker back in the day, which is just a piece of crap. Don't ever use it if you're going to edit videos. Contact me if you know actual programs that you use. But going to use it. Yeah, me and James have been discussing that he needs to get some prediction videos out there because so many of you like to interact with him, and he's a super nice guy. But I think without further ado, we should do some shout outs in the chat, and see who we have here. We got, of course, Carol Brown, who is one of our favorites. We have Carrot Cake, Mia Ice and Fire. We have Muse. We have William Rice, who's one of the patrons of the channel. We have Katrin, and I'm sure we're going to have more in the chat as well. We'll definitely get to some more shout outs after. For those of you who are watching and haven't checked out James, I did put the link to his channel and his Patreon in the description of this video. We're going to talk a little bit about culling the banners again for James. He's going to start a GoFundMe. He's trying to get to Con of Thrones 2018, and I think we need to show him some love for that.
Appreciate that, brother.
Now, James, well, let me ask you a question, man.
Sure.
You know, we've had some chats about Game of Thrones season 8, and what do you think is going to be the big moment in episode 1? I mean, there's going to be a lot, but that one big moment that might be a little twist or something that we might not expect in episode 1.
I think the biggest thing we have to look forward to in episode 1 is the introduction of Dany in Winterfell. You know, how is that going to go down when she busts up in there? And not only is she a Targaryen in Winterfell, she's now, you know, Jon's in love with her. She's more than likely already knows she's pregnant by now, or something's going to be up with that. I know that. So I think it's going to be the whole Winterfell thing. And then right at the end of the episode, I picture the Night King showing up.
Wow, episode 1.
I do. We'll see maybe off in the distance or something. Here he comes on that freaking dragon alone. I don't think the army's going to be there yet, but I think he's scouting. It's just the way I feel. I swear I think he's going to show up at the end of episode 1 in Winterfell.
So what you're trying to say is that Jon has ants in his pants.
Yeah, ants in his pants. Yes, he does.
Yeah, you know, I think something similar is going to happen. You know, I don't think everyone's going to get along with Daenerys. I think, you know, people are predicting Sansa. I don't personally see that. I think that, you know, after all that Jon has done for her, she's kind of going to be the least of his problems now that they're getting everything together. And she took more of a role like that last season, but I could see, you know, maybe someone beyond Royce. He definitely spoke up last time about not being able to trust the Targaryens because of the Mad King and what happened down in King's Landing. And obviously it's funny because Jon's grandfather killed his other grandfather.
Oh my God, that's crazy to think about.
Right. So like what's gonna go down there? And like, you know, is Jon's, and that's another thing, is Jon's parentage going to be revealed in front of everyone? How will Dany react to that? Like, how will the North react to Jon being a Targaryen after they named him king? That's another huge thing too.
Yeah, I wonder that too. You know, how are they going to react to him being a Targaryen? Now there's 2 Targaryens up there in Winterfell. You know, right after he said that, can't trust a Targaryen, dude. I can't wait to see how that unfolds.
Well, let's ask everyone in the chat what they think. Let's see how they're vibing. If everyone in chat, do you think that the North is gonna give Jon a problem, or has Jon done enough to like earn their respect? And the majority of people will be like, okay, well, she has dragons. Let's trust her. The White Walkers are coming, because majority of the North hasn't seen the White Walkers or the Whites or anything yet. We do know that most of the people that are joining them have. That's the big thing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's just a legend and myth and everything, but no, all that's getting ready to go by the wayside. They're going to be introduced to in a major way. They're going to be introduced to the White Walkers and the Whites.
Oh man, you know what's crazy?
They're bleeding through. They're filing through that wall as we speak right now, dude. I'm telling you, it's going to be on.
It's crazy, man. I really hope your prediction is right, that they show up at the end of episode 1, because we only got 6 episodes left.
That's the way I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping we get longer episodes too, so we can get some interactions. Free Ghost, # Free Ghost, everyone in the chat. We need the direwolves back. Maybe Drogon and Ghost are buddy. We'll see how actually Ghost reacts with Dany. That'll be another interesting thing too. How much they focus on the magical beasts, right? Because mainly the focus has been about men and their political problems so far. So it's like, we just talked about Chris's dog Riddick. We care about the die. Like, we were like, Riddick is sick.
Yes.
But the direwolf is the same. Like, everybody wants that.
Yeah, I can't believe we went a whole season with no Ghost. It just blows my mind. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I totally, I put that on the back burner. The interaction of Ghost and Dany. I think that's going to be just as important as Drogon and Jon. They'll actually make a decent scene about it, I believe.
So you think they're going to parallel the Jon touching Drogon?
Sure.
So you think Ghost is going to like Dany though? Like, he's going to be like warmed up, like, yeah, like I
wonder,
like you,
dude. I wonder. And again, I haven't, we haven't been around Ghost in a while. What's he been up to? Has he changed at all? Has he gotten a lot bigger? I'm assuming he has. I think he's going to be huge, like Nymeria was. I don't remember, seeing a direwolf as big as Nymeria in that one scene. Which I don't think we're done seeing Nymeria. What do you think about that? I mean, that can't be the last time we see her.
That's really interesting. I think that I think eventually Winterfell is going to be toppled, right? And we see a donation in the chat. We're going to get to that in just a second. I think that they're going to have to. I mean, I think the White Walkers are going to. I think Winterfell is going to go down. Whether it's destroyed completely or not, that's another question. Because we know that the Night King has a dragon, so that's going to be a thing.
Yes, sir.
But how far do the White Walkers go? I think they make it all the way to King's Landing. I think there's going to be something to do with Wildfire in the final battle. We got some news to talk about after, which we will link to. The Dragon Pit. There's a scene being filmed in the Dragon Pit in season 8. So maybe they get all the way there. That would be kind of interesting. But I think that if they do move south, let's say near the Twins, where Arya saw Nymeria, we could say maybe a wolf pack helping, because in almost every single situation, the direwolves have been sacrificed in some way, whether they were killed or protecting their owner. So
that's true, very true. And Chris and I have discussed potentially. It's like Bran almost needs to get involved. More than just using, revealing truths to people. So we're kind of feeling like he might warg Nymeria in the pack, multiple animals at one time, like he does the ravens, and see him, manipulate that whole pack and wipe out some, whites and White Walkers. I don't know. I think that'd be really cool. He almost needs to do that.
I think it's going to happen. I mean, we know that this is going to be the final season, at least for the original series. So I think that they're going to try to give us as much as that Return of the King type feel we got with the Lord of the Rings. Obviously, the big battles, the coming together, the Legolas, the Gimli, all of them together fighting. And, obviously there's great beasts, and we saw undead warriors and all that. So I think a similar thing is going to happen within Game of Thrones as well. We're going to get back to this discussion in just a second. We actually have a donation in chat. It's from Emilio.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, man.
And he said, actually, specifically to you, James, hey, James, can you post a link to your GoFundMe? So
I will, dude. I'm actually working on it as we speak, Emilio. So as soon as I do, I think Kyle said he's willing to drop it in the about section or whatever with the other links he has in mind.
So what's going to happen is me and James were actually talking about that this morning. Description of this video, and then in the comment section, I will also pin the top comment, and you guys can click on that as well. Actually, what we're going to do is Emilio is actually on the Wall of Hype, and I just got to give you guys an update for the Wall of Hype right now. As you guys can see, I've opened up 10 spots. We are up to 118 patrons, and we're halfway towards our GoFundMe goal. So, Emilio, you can see your name up there, homie, but we got 10 more spots up there for those of you that are getting hype and donating as well. So really, really appreciate all that support. All right, and we will. I know, man. I love it so much. We were talking about it earlier. Actually, the company that sent me, or I bought it, but the company that sent me one actually sent out another one. They screwed up, and it would just cost so much for them to send it back. So they let me. I got a second Wall of Hype. I'm not gonna buy. It took me so long to set this one up that I'm just not gonna bother putting the second one up. But if this one ever screws up, at least I got a backup one.
No, I have a feeling you're gonna get so much hype and love. You're gonna have to use 2.
So crazy.
I have a feeling, Kyle. I'll make that prediction right now.
So go ahead. Sorry, James, you cut out for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I'll make that prediction now. You're gonna get so much hype and love. You'll have to have 2.
I have to have 2. Oh my God, that'd be crazy. Yeah, there's enough hype to go around and chat. And by the way, everyone, we have 71 watchers. Thank you so much for joining us. What I would like to do is of course, check out James's channel in the description of this video. Subscribe. Let's show him some love. Let's try to get him to 2,000. We need to get him to 2,000 subs before Con of Thrones. Maybe a little subscriber drive. But if everyone in chat, if you do know who James is and you like James, put some fire and heart emojis in there. We got to show him some hype and love. James, what should we chat about next, my man? I mean, we chatted about a few things before we came on stream. Yeah. Is there anything in specific that is really exciting for you for season 8 that you're really looking forward to?
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to and you hit me with the news about the Dragon Pit right before we went on. So I'm still trying to digest that right now. I'm looking forward to Chris and I's prediction of the God's Eye. I just feel like we're onto something there. I feel like we've pulled some, textures from the books, and I think something's up there with Howland Reed, and that's where he's at. That's why he hasn't shown his face. And, now you have me wondering though, because of this whole King's Landing thing, I hope it doesn't end there, although it very well could. That could be I could see everything going down right at King's Landing and no need to go there. But I feel like we've put some stuff together that, it's going to happen. I think the God's Eye's got to happen. Something's going to happen there.
I think so too. I mean, we haven't seen Howland Reed yet, but maybe he is at the God's Eye. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a substantial amount of weirwood trees at the God's Eye. So
exactly,
you would figure if, there's a few Children of the Forest near one, there might be a bunch near a bunch of weirwood trees. Now that's only speculation, but I don't know, man. For me, and I know a lot of you in chat, if we don't see Howland Reed, we're going to riot because we saw him at the Tower of Joy flashback, and it would just crush me to not. I don't understand why they wouldn't include him, because he was literally there to confirm Jon was born by Lyanna, right?
Right.
So that's a huge thing. Like, we got Sam and Bran, which kind of worries me, but I really hope we get to see more of the God's Eye, and I think Howland Reed could actually be part of that.
I think so too. I really do. And I think there's some way that if Bran makes it there, he'll get some power up. It'd be pretty incredible.
By power up, you mean like Goku in Super Saiyan, like Dragon Ball, or do you mean,
brother? That's what I'm picturing.
Like,
amazing.
Actually, let me ask you this question. Since you brought it up, what do you actually think Bran's going to achieve though? Like, he's already pretty strong. Like, what can he do to take it to another level? Like, is he going to enter a dragon? I know a lot of people have speculated about that.
A lot of people think that. And for some reason, I don't think that's going to be necessary. Okay. Although I did, say he could work the wolf pack and everything, and that would be amazing. But for me personally now, I feel like his ultimate contribution is going to be translating for the Night King. I think there's going to be a scene where he, you know, because I don't want him to talk. I mean, let's just be honest. I don't want him to have a voice, say, you know, James Earl Jones or something like that. I would like for, you know, Baby Bran to be his voice. The way they interact in visions and things like that, I feel like that can happen.
Wow, that's crazy. So a lot of people have speculated on Bran possibly, or the Night King being another Bran. We talk about how you know old Nan says all the Brandons are one Brandon in her mind, which is quite interesting because that kind of alludes to what the three-eyed raven really is you know the same person absorbing all of these different consciousnesses, right? So I've actually never heard that before. That's really interesting. Bran. Like the Night King warging Bran and speaking through Bran, like, hey, this is
somehow that, yes, exactly. So Bran will say, you know, what's the deal? You know, what's motivating this dude? I mean, we know he's trapped. We know, I'm sure he didn't choose this fate. But I'd like to hear it. You know, wouldn't you? I mean, we don't have any POV chapters in the books. I'd like to hear what motivates him, definitively, not guessing.
Because, I mean, ultimately, like, we need to know more about his backstory or at least his motives, right? Like, who was he before he came to this point? Was he a Stark? Was he a Bolton, like old Nan said? Was he someone that was villainous, like someone that that would make more sense? Like he was, I mean, I have my own theory that he was Brandon of the Bloody Blade, the guy that killed so many of the children of the forest at the Blue Lake that it became named the Red Lake. But, you know, there's theories about Brandon the Builder and all these, the 13th Lord Commander,
right.
But they all relate to someone in the North. So it's going to be really interesting to see, because when you look at the Starks as the good guys, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Lannisters, and we can still connect with them, but we connect with the Starks because they seem like good people, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, you know, he's been around for so long. That's why Chris refers to him as a proto Stark, because he's definitely, you know, he feels like he definitely is, you know, shares the same bloodline.
I see a comment in chat, by the way, about the plot leaks. We are not going to speak about those today, but I think me and James are kind of on the same wavelength here. And I know some of you like to spam the fake news emoji in the chat, the Pinocchio mask emoji. I don't personally believe them. They seem too believable, if that makes any sense, too convenient for me. But James, I know you haven't taken a look at all of them. I haven't taken a look at all of them, but the ones I did hear about, I didn't. You know, maybe parts of them are true, but I don't think all of them are true. You know what I mean? Like 100%.
Right. The odds of somebody having the real story, the real deal. I mean, as hard as they're trying to protect it, I mean, it had to be a literal jackass on the set of that thing to leak that shit. I can't imagine. You know, it seems like they would vet everybody so well that they, you know, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine it. So I don't even waste my time.
Think about this, like me and you, we both agree on this point. Game of Thrones season 8 is the holy grail of the show. Why would you?
Exactly.
For me and you, you know, we still love to speculate. We're not saying that we can't look forward to news that comes.
No, exactly.
Yeah. But and we got another donation in chat here, James. Emilio says the Night King also looked Valyrian. Maybe that indicates a common ancestor, Empire of the Dawn. I actually talked about that yesterday in my video, talking about how the Bloodstone Emperor, you know, he was acting nefariously, and he was doing things. He was usurped by, he usurped his sister, and then he was usurped. So it's possible that, you know, there's something going on there, but that's really interesting. You know, perhaps he's maybe of both bloodlines as well, and you know, maybe that's why it all back to the children thing too. Why is he converting all of the Craster's babies? Is Craster Valyrian? Why does he need these babies? Because he obviously can't reproduce or can't speak, from what we know. So that's kind of another mystery that where we're going. Like, hey, is he Valyrian or not? What do you think about that, James?
Dude, nothing would surprise me at this point. I am not aware of the person you're talking about right now. So I can't wait, you know, to go watch that video you're talking about from yesterday. I will watch that.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that character at all. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in that.
But do you think it's possible that the Night King might be a Valyrian? Yeah, I mean that would be crazy, right? Like,
well, that would be cool. And I could see it. I really could. I'm very curious. And that's one thing that we've said many, many times is even more so than Jon not finding out his parentage, not finding out the Night King's backstory would be more disappointing to me. And believe me, I would kick and scream if Jon didn't find out, don't get me wrong. But if you do not find out the Night King's backstory and what's motivating him, this story, I mean, I'll do something horrible. If people talk about riding in the streets, yeah, I definitely will be pissed off. I can't imagine that.
Pardon me too. Emilio, since you're already on the Wall of Hype, if you would like to nominate someone to be on the Wall of Hype, since you made a donation, I'm cool with doing that. And also, thank you. We have a donation from Emmanuel, and if you just want to clarify what you're saying, buddy, we will get to your question. All right, let's continue, man. Actually, let's read some comments from the chat because the chat is moving pretty fast here. We said Kyle and James in one stream, awesome. I really don't think the leaks are real. The leaks are fan fiction. Wow, a lot of people seem to think they're not legit. Some people think they're good and they're entertaining. Okay, well, I mean,
they are. Yeah, the fans can write. Let's not undersell the fans. They do write some amazing stuff.
Where is Alan Reed? We just talked about that, Emmanuel, but we will maybe bring that up a little bit later. But actually, James, maybe we will get to the Dragon Pit news. There's some news from Game of Thrones Season 8. It's a spoiler, everyone, so I apologize if you do not want to hear it, but they are filming back in King's Landing, and they will be back at the Dragon Pit. So that's a pretty big thing. Now, me and you were discussing this before the stream, which it can mean a couple things, right? Like,
yeah,
it would be a great place for the Night King to do battle, maybe with Jon Snow, maybe, or like a dragon battle or something like that, because it is destroyed and there is a pretty big open area. So that would be kind of maybe like a spot for a final stand or something like that. That would be kind of crazy. Or maybe a wedding or something of that nature. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you nailed the two possibilities right there. I honestly do. As we were talking about it before we came on, he was the first I'd heard about it. I can't. That's it. It really kind of bums me out, to be honest with you, because if the Dragon Pit is going to be the epicenter for something pretty fantastic, pretty amazing, and I don't want it to pull away from my God's eye theory. So I'll just leave it at that. I hope it's a win.
We just don't know if it's going to be a battle or. Well, right. I mean, I'm just bringing it up now. Yeah, they didn't really confirm who is shooting there or not.
I'm hoping for the wedding.
or you know what's even better is the Clegane Bowl. I mean,
good call. Good call.
Clegane Bowl could go down there, maybe. I mean,
absolutely.
We're gonna assume. I mean, I don't know. I'm so selfish. I want the Clegane Bowl.
That's got to happen. That's got to happen, dude. And that would be a perfect place for it.
Who is here hype for the Clegane Bowl in the chat? By the way, I see Kelly just mentioned Clegane Bowl. Funny enough, right after I mentioned it. What do you think happens there, too, man? Like, we got to assume that anybody that's still alive is going to be at King's Landing in the end, because they're going to have to address.
Yes.
Obviously, the Iron Throne, if that's still going to be a thing in the end, if they're going to melt it down, if they're going to keep it, if they're going to, because at this point, you got to think that they might want to change things after all of the stuff that's happened, right? All of this conflict. There's basically apocalypse that's happening, and not all of it is because of the Iron Throne, but a lot of the stuff that we've seen is because of it. So what do you think about that? I mean, they're going to have to resolve whatever's in King's Landing. Like,
no doubt about it.
Is it going to be destroyed or? Because we saw it almost look like Harrenhal, right? Because like Danny's vision, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I keep going back to, is that vision. And I'm kind of with you on the notion that I think they will destroy that throne. I mean, it's a symbol of some horrible, horrible things, and it would be really cool. I want people to be able to be alive and enjoy the fact that it's melted down. But I think we're going to lose a lot of our favorite players. I hate that.
Oh man. I don't know, man. And that's a really interesting one. James, while I'm going to get you to keep on chatting and ask the chat a
Sure.
question of your choice. And Emilio has nominated Jolly Sailor Bold to go on the wall of hype here. So
Ooh,
I'm going to
I love
go
Jolly Sailor
draw and
Bold.
shake my I'm going to go draw and shake my booty while you entertain the chat.
All right, you got it. So yeah, guys, I'll just be honest with you. I believe Cersei has another card to play. So, you know, I think that we will see another explosion, another horrible fire. I think Dany's vision is you know, the ceiling burnout is not a result of Dragonfire. You know, I think Cersei's up to her old tricks again. Jolly Sailor
Sorry,
on the
couldn't
wall.
hear
Looking
anything
good,
you guys were talking about. Let's move this. Wait, were you checking on my ass, James? Shit, man.
I had my eyes closed, I promise.
So we're talking a little bit about Cersei or what?
Yeah, man. I was saying that I think you know, Dany's vision, that's the result of Cersei, not a dragon. I think she's got another card to play.
Ooh, so you think that actually the Red Keep is going to be Wildfire then?
Hell yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
Wow, man. Yeah, it's really interesting because I think that she's, you know, it's possible that she's around after the Night King, maybe, you know,
Yeah.
like I like she's such a powerful character. We know that, you know, obviously the books, it might be a bit different. Like it looks like Euron's going to be a pretty big player in the books, but in the show, I mean, she's the main show villain. As far as humans go, I think at the end, really, because she's really didn't send her army. She betrayed the North after she knew the Army of the Dead was coming and all that. So
yeah, after she knew, that's
Cersei's got a bigger role to play. We actually got a question, James.
Rock and roll.
And we got a we'll get back to the Cersei thing in just a second, but I want to acknowledge this donation here. Desert Dragon, nice collab, Kyle and James. Is James going to the con or still on the spiky fence? Speaking of, James is actually setting up a GoFundMe, which we're going to link in the description of the video after he's setting it all up. But James, you plan on going to the con, right?
I do. If I have to hitchhike and sleep under a bridge, I'm gonna be there.
That's not going to happen. Actually, is it not your birthday on?
It is. Sunday will be my birthday.
So
Yeah.
it's James's birthday on the 27th. We're gonna have to plan a little special something for him. Maybe we'll get him a lap dance or something like that.
Him and I love. Yes.
But to answer your question, yes. And James definitely would like to have some of your support for the GoFundMe. So we're going to set all of that up later. Like I said, in the description of the video, it's not set up just yet. James is planning on releasing that today. So
Absolutely.
thank you for the donation. And we're going to, you know, we'll continue the search. We got more donations. Oh my goodness.
Rock and roll.
Oh, we got Carol Funk and we got a Desert Dragon. You want to continue while I add to the wall hype again there, James?
Yeah, sure thing.
So we'll continue with Cersei.
Yeah, I think you know, Cersei, a lot of people are rooting for Cersei's demise. And for me, I don't know. I think I might be a man on an island here, but I can't imagine the story without her. I just can't. And I know we've lost some other major players, but I don't know. I still, in a sick, twisted way, I want her to, you know, make it out of this alive. I don't know why. I know she's done some horrible things and she's, you know, I just still go back to the love for her children, and I think she's redeemable. You're gonna get some hate on that. I'm glad you didn't hear any of that.
Uh-oh. Chat, what did James say about that was controversial? Uh-oh.
Oh god. I got to be the only person rooting for Cersei.
Oh my god, guys, the hype train is going. You guys are crazy, man. You guys are crazy. Got another donation, man. We got Carol who says, no question, just enjoying you listen to you guys. Yeah, a lot of you were really, really excited for this collaboration. Actually, James, we talked about, for everyone in chat, we talked about doing a game night on the channel. Game of Thrones bingo. We're actually working on behind the scenes on a Game of Thrones bingo for you guys.
I think that's going to be fun.
It will require some more work behind the scenes, but we're going to do it. Oh, man. What do you like? doing
Dude.
some drinking games and stuff like that too. And like,
Yeah, ever since you mentioned it, dude, I can't quit thinking about it. That's going to be so fun and so unique, and we'll bring it. We'll bring it hardcore.
also, who's going to be joining me and James for that is George. He's going to be joining us for the game night. He's helping me set that up, and our friend Crips of Winterfell is actually the one who designed the game. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit more after when we've got it all figured out. But we are going to be doing a game night. I said next week, but I think we need a little bit more time to kind of figure out how we're going to get everyone involved, because it is a little bit complicated getting everyone the sheets. And
yes. Sorry, I might have to open a bottle of wine for that too.
Oh my goodness, dude. We're getting like, this is crazy. The hype train is going, man.
Bring it, people.
Karen, just a little fuel for the hype train, $25 US, which is like $4,000 Canadian. Thank you. Karen. Karen is already on the wall of hype, and she told me to take her off, but I won't for at least another week. She's crazy. And then we have Crips of Winterfell in the chat, who we were just talking about. So here's a total wag. The Dragon Pit will be where Cersei sends the mountain down to represent King's Landing as the champion. Jon Snow plans to battle him, but the Hound says, "This is my battle." Ooh!
Boom. That'd be a great scene, Crips. That'd be a great scene. If it plays out exactly like that, I'd love it.
So Crips is essentially saying trial by combat to end for Cersei, because they're gonna. Wow! Yo.
That's awesome. That gave me chills, actually. I love that.
Wow. Yeah, I got some goosebumps from that. Everybody show some love for Crips in the chat, who is also on the wall of hype.
That's awesome. I can just picture it. I can see it.
That actually blew my mind. I don't even know what to say to that. I wouldn't have thought of that as like, you know, because we thought about the trial by combat before, right? Like it looked like they might go. That's Cersei so trying to save herself by trial by combat.
Oh yeah, and think she's got the trump card right there with the mountain. And I got news for her. You know, I think the Hound's prepared.
Oh, Crips of Winterfell said, "Take me off, please." All right. Crips, do you want to nominate someone to go on the board? We can do that as well. Now, since James is our special guest here, everyone, and we've talked about kind of a couple things that we've wanted to talk about, we want to open the questions to you guys. We got about another half an hour here between mine and James's schedule, so we're going to hang out for at least a little bit longer, for about half an hour for you guys. But yeah, well, how about we open it up to a Q&A, James, and they can ask questions, and then we'll kind of just flow with the chat, because chat is on fire right now, my man.
I'm digging it.
We already got Peter Noble up on the board. He actually told me, yeah, he was actually on the board too. I took him off to put some other people on there. Peter had thanked me, so I need another nomination, Crips. Sorry, James, but we'll get some questions from the chat. Or do you have a question for the chat? Maybe.
Let me think. Did anybody say anything about hating me for liking Cersei? Because I could feel like,
you know what we will do is Sonny McLeod says, "If I wasn't poor, I'd be on that wall." You know what? We're gonna put her on right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that.
It's all about hype and love.
Yeah, we'll put her on the wall. In the meantime, we can get some questions from the chat. James, you want to check out the chat?
Sure. Let's see. Angie D says, "I'll let it slide, James." That's cool. Oh, Wesley loves Cersei too. That's good to know. Okay, here's one from Maria K. It says, "Hello from Massachusetts. Q&A. What if Jon and Dany get married when they land in the White Harbor, which will make it more complicated?" Yeah, I think that's actually what's going to happen, Maria. I feel like they'll be married by the time, you know, he introduces her. I think he'll introduce her as his wife. That's just the way I feel about it.
So you think Euron and Cersei are going to get married, right? Like that's going to go down?
Euron and Cersei? No. I'm not.
I don't know. It's been kind of bugging me. Like,
yeah, I feel like it could happen. I wouldn't be shocked if it did. But no, I was saying that I think, you know, Dany and Jon will be married when he introduces her. They'll already be married.
So you think they're going to get married in the North then? Not in the Dragon Pits or anything like that, because that'll be too far. I mean, you know what's really interesting that we have to think about is Jon was a bastard. and he wouldn't want their child to be a bastard. So that would be an extra incentive for them to get married, right?
Yeah, quickly, and just go ahead and get it out of the way. I feel like that's what's going to happen. And so then when he takes her there and introduces her, now I could
also the thought of maybe them dying as well. I mean, the Night King does have
like that too, dude. Yeah, I do. I feel like that could be another reason that would motivate them to get married. You know,
I mean, we see we see a lot of people in real life, like, people that have cancer and stuff like that, the love of their life, and on their deathbeds, they get married because they want to have that experience, that kind of thing. So we could get a situation, I hope both of them survive. I don't think that's going to happen, but, it could be the case, them getting married is that extra incentive for them to survive, certainly. And them, Dany being pregnant is obviously huge. That kid being the heir to the Iron Throne.
And again, even though I don't think there'll be an Iron Throne for that kid to sit on, it will. Yeah, it's the heir. It's the heir almighty.
Yeah, man. That's literally a baby of ice and fire because
brother.
Because Jon is ice and fire, and then Daenerys is straight fire, and that's like that kid's gonna be really. You know what would be really interesting too is at the end of the story we got baby Sam and Jon's kid as kind of like the hope for the future. I could kind of see that.
I can too. Yep, I sure can. I was actually thinking that too. Now, what about if Cersei is really pregnant, or if that baby makes it? I'm sure everybody thinks that baby's dead, not going to make it. But what if it did, dude? That would be a trip.
Well, a lot of people.
Tyrion would snag that baby up, I'm sure, and raise it.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, man, because, I've had a couple questions come my way. Did Tyrion betray Daenerys and Jon? And I said no, because I thought that was just an ominous look, because he knows people that fall in love in this world don't generally have their love last a long time. We saw it with Robb Stark and all of these other arrangements. It usually doesn't end well when people generally want to be together. I mean, look at Tyrion. He's a prime example of that. I mean, he didn't have a choice with Tysha or Shae either. I mean, he had to kill Shae, and then Tysha was obviously put up to it by Tywin and his family. That's gonna. I mean, Tyrion. I don't think Tyrion would betray Daenerys and Jon. I think there's way too much at risk for him, and he knows how unpredictable Cersei is. What are your thoughts on that? Like,
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I don't think he'll betray them, and I do think he's going to do his best to keep Cersei around to find out what happens with the baby. And once see that she knew that was a trump card she could play. When negotiating with Tyrion, when talking to him, he has a weakness, for family and things like that. Even though she gets on his nerves, she knew all she had to do was rub her stomach like she did, and that would signal him. So I feel like he's gonna do his best to preserve Cersei until that baby is born.
So because we know that he really, really cared about Myrcella, and especially Myrcella and Tommen, even though he made that arrangement to send like we see in the show when he's doing the arrangement, Myrcella gets sent to Dorne. Damn, man, that's really interesting too. That's a subject I need to cover in a video. I've been saying that I'm going to be doing a Cersei video for a while, and I think that's going to be the next video I cover after the Dragon Pit video that I'm going to drop later. We got 2 more donations, James. Man, the hype train is rolling today, my man.
Wow.
Hype. Kimmy Jane, you're going on the wall hype in just a second. She says, wanting Chris' prediction to come true. Cersei thinks the mountain is unstoppable, but I bet the Hound and Arya. Ooh, could someone help the Hound during the Clegane Bowl? Maybe.
I could see that.
Yeah. Maybe with someone else's face. That'd be cool. And then we have another one from Emilio, who keeps on dropping that money get hyped. Have a war of the dead with the Kings of Winter, White Walkers and Qyburn. So this is a giant zombie war. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really interested to see what the Night King is going to do with, is he just going to fly over and revive everyone, James? Like that's the thing, like, what are his powers now that he's breached the wall? Is he just going to fly in Westeros and literally revive everyone?
I've thought about that a lot. We have to remember the the living really have no chance in this, numbers wise. They're gonna have to pull something out of their hat, because every time one of them dies, they become part of his army. And the people who, like you said, he's gonna, if they weren't burnt, they're coming back, and his army just strengthens. The further south he goes, it just keeps getting stronger and bigger. It's hard to imagine. Hard to imagine the living having a chance if they don't pull some kind of funky magical something out of their hat. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, obviously there's the horn. We don't know what that does.
Right.
Sam found that horn with the dragon glass. We don't know if that's going to return. If that like blowing the horn. I have this pet peeve. Not pet peeve. I have a pet peeve about the horn. I have a pet theory about the horn that if it's blown, the Night King will lose the connection to warg all of the undead, and then Jon will be able to battle him one-on-one. So it's like
okay, yeah,
this vibration that cuts him off.
Yeah.
Because essentially, he has dragon glass in his chest, and we know that metal reacts with sound. And Jon is going to have a Valyrian steel blade. So I don't know if it's something to do with that. I'm getting kind of sciencey on you guys, but maybe that's something that will help out. But obviously,
I like that idea. I've never thought about that or never heard that before. But that's a good idea, because you almost do need to break that. His ability to do that to stand a chance. I mean, that's got to be broken.
Have you watched Harry Potter? Have you watched all the Harry Potter movies?
I have not. To be honest with you, I have not.
Damn, I don't want to spoil it for you then in the chat and be
a lot of people have told me, I need to watch it. So
I'll simplify it for the chat. I think something is going to happen, like the connection between Harry Potter and Voldemort. That like their kind of connection, like something has to be severed, like it was severed with them. Don't want to give too much more, because if James watches the movies, like I don't know, I love the Harry Potter movies. I'm a super nerd, so yeah, I know we need more magic. We need more. I mean, obviously, I think we're gonna get that in season 8, right?
I think so too. Yep. And then all of a sudden, it's gonna almost come to an end. With all this is said and done, we'll have this huge magical uprising, and then it'll all just kind of fall off once he's gone and dead, and he's stopped. I think we're going to see magic decline again.
And I think everything is going to change. I don't think there's going to be any magic. I think if there is any magic left, I think it's only Bran. I think all the direwolves and all the dragons are going to be gone. I know people. This is going to be heartbreaking.
It is.
But everybody says that they're going to try to rebuild. I don't know if they're necessarily going to try to rebuild. Like, why would they want to rebuild something that was failing? Right? I mean, they've been in this society hasn't been progressing for such a long time. They're kind of at that point in human history when we started to industrialize and become more advanced scientifically and all of those things. So maybe that's the tipping point, that dream of spring where Westeros, we only get a small glimpse of that at the end after all of this tragedy. That's kind of where I think they're going with it.
I like that. I feel about the same way as you do on that. Sure enough, it's gonna be a totally different, societal structure after this is all said and done.
Do you think more of a meritocracy then, like where like maybe something like King Arthur, like the Knights of the Round Table, where there's there is a king, but everyone, there's kind of like a I
truly do. Yep, I think I always dug the small council anyway. I just think it'll be more made up of people from different regions, kind of like our House of Representatives, Congress.
Maybe House Tie-Dye will be on the throne by the end of everything. That'd be sweet.
Hey, don't bet against it.
We have 2 more donations
behind me, dude.
Damn, hype train behind you for getting to Con of Thrones, and then we have a hype train in the chat. It's insane.
That's cool, dude. I'm digging it.
Hey, let's keep it going. I'm cool with it. Krista Winterfell, Arya, will Peter Baelish Cersei's backside after the Hound takes down the mountain? Can you clarify that? Do you know what he means by that, James?
I was trying to read while you were reading. Say that one more time.
Arya, will Peter Baelish Cersei's backside after the Hound? Like kill her?
I guess so.
Oh, he mean kill Cersei's ASS. Okay, he doesn't want me to say the swear word live on stream.
I'm
now.
with you. Yep, yep.
I could see that. I don't know though. I think Jaime's gonna kill her. Do you think Arya might?
You know, I've always thought Arya would, even though we've got this, you know, Maggie the Frog prophecy. There's something that tells me Arya's going to do it. You know, we didn't learn about the list and everything, you know, for nothing. And I know she's changed a little bit, but I think she wouldn't miss an opportunity for that. And if she's within arm's reach, and you know, she's just awesome now. The faceless men, you know how fast they wipe people out. Nobody's gonna have a chance to stop her. If she wants to do it, she's gonna do it. I don't care what anybody says. There's nobody there. We saw how she handled Brienne just in training, just practicing. There's nobody there that's going to be able to stop her. If she sets her crosshairs on Cersei, Cersei's done. That's the way I feel about it.
I can envision a moment where like the Clegane Bowl is over and Jaime and Arya are there and they both are fighting to who's gonna kill Cersei. Like imagine if they had a conflict, like Jaime and Arya like Arya's like, no, she's on my list, and Jaime's like, no, that's my love. Like I have to kill her. Like
yeah, I see a scene where Jaime is stressing over it, and like you know he's planning on going in here and killing her, right? And he opens the door and she's already dead. Because Arya beat him to it. And then, you know, it kind of relieves him a little bit. He doesn't have to go through with it because he really loves her. You know, he was going to do it just
that would be crazy, man.
Mankind.
We also have your co-host, Mr. Chris Smokescreen, in the chat. Shout out to Chris. Thank you for coming to hang out with us, my man. Let's show Chris some hype and love in the chat. Of course, he will be at Con of Thrones. And if you guys haven't checked out the channel, I'm sure all of you have. Make sure you go subscribe as well.
Don't let Chris ask any questions.
You have another donation we got to get to here. Say that again.
I said, don't let Chris ask any questions. He knows all my weaknesses.
He try to sabotage you live on air. We have another donation from Nancy T. I see her I think I see her in your chat sometimes.
You do. I love Nancy. She's an amazing person.
She's going to Con of Thrones. So Nancy, we're really excited to see you and have a glass of wine or beer with you, of course. And she says, love the collaboration and camaraderie. She's cool, man.
She was there last year.
It's so cool too. Like so many of my people are your people and Chris's people. Like obviously,
I tell everyone.
I think did I meet you last year, Nancy? I apologize if we did. But yeah, man. Oh, that kind of blows my mind. You know what you said, James? Like Cersei being found by Jaime. Like, how would he like react to that? Would he be happy? I know he wouldn't be super happy about it. But
agreed. Yeah, he'd be relieved he didn't have to do it. I think.
Yeah,
because I think it's going to take a lot, you know, for him to get the courage to do it, and I think it'd be really cool if he didn't have to.
Yeah, that'd be super enough. So, do you think then? I mean, if that's the case, because a lot of people think that Cersei and Jaime are going to go Romeo and Juliet style. They came together in the world. They're going to go out in the world. Like, I mean, Jaime was born a few minutes after.
I'd be totally fine with that idea. What do you think about that? I think it's a pretty cool idea.
I mean, I'd be okay with it. I mean, I'd like Jaime to have some sort of peace and happiness in his life. He's always been in conflict, you know what I mean? But I think I don't know. I just don't see a situation where he survives. Like the very small chance that he does survive, I think he would become like Lord Commander of the Night's Watch or something like that. If there even is a need for a Night's Watch in the end, I just don't really see. Like after Cersei dies, like where does his story go? For me, I think that they both have to die. But
yeah, I think you're right, and I do want him to have some peace too. You're right, and I've actually said I'd like for him to die in the arms of a woman he loves or a woman who loves him, and you always go back to Brienne. I'd hate for her to get shafted too, because I kind of root for her too, so I kind of would like for them to live happily ever after, but I just know it's not in the book. It's not in the cards. It's not. And that breaks my heart.
Yeah. Okay. So since we're talking about this, we've talked about the main characters, the main events that we're going to be getting to. Who does survive then? Because like I have three in mind. I think that are really. I mean, I think Sansa is going to survive. Sansa, Tyrion, and Samwell are on my like safe list. Do you have a safe list per se,
I
James?
like your safe list. I really do. I think that's a good one. I don't know. I don't know why Arya can survive. I feel like I don't know why, but I just keep picturing Arya kind of being a loner. I do not see her settling down with Gendry or anybody. I do feel like she's going to be a loner and kind of travel, like um, you know, Bruce Banner or freaking Kane or whatever his name is from Grasshopper from Kung Fu or whatever.
Oh man,
I just think she's going to wander the countryside. I don't see anybody taking her out, not one on one. I don't see it happening. She's wicked.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that think she sails west of Westeros because of that conversation with Lady Crane.
True.
I personally think she actually goes to back to Bravos and leaves Westeros, and I think she actually becomes an actress because she's always been taking on different names. So she kind of becomes no one essentially, but she still has that memory of Arya. So she's not in the Faceless Men, but she's still able to fulfill her life as someone else. You know what I mean?
Never thought about that. I like that idea, Kyle.
I don't know. That would be really bittersweet though, because obviously she wouldn't be with back home in Westeros with her pack. She would have her own pack, kind of like Nymeria had. You know what I mean?
But she was fascinated with those those actors and actresses. I could see her doing that. That's really cool.
We have another donation. My goodness, man, you guys are crazy hyped today. Can't even count, man. Jeez. I hope you guys show some love to James later, by the way, when I put that GoFundMe up. I really hope so. Crips of Winterfell says, I kind of see Cersei running off to the Red Keep. Arya will have taken down Qyburn already and will slit Cersei's throat as she enters the room and locks the door. So you think she takes Qyburn's face? Is that a possibility then?
That's a really good possibility, dude. To get close to Cersei, that would be the perfect way.
I've always thought that the girl, the handmaiden that caught Cersei and Jaime sleeping in bed together, she got cast again for season 8.
Dude, you gotta be kidding me.
She's cast again for season 8, so I'm thinking that she had that suspicious look when she looked inside the door.
She did, dude. I haven't even gave that a second thought, but you're so right, dude. I could totally see that. Wow, she sure did.
Sorry, my phone. I mean, some people say Jaime's face too. That could be kind of surprising. And she takes off Jaime's face. That would be insane because she'd be like, "Oh, Jaime is killing me," and then during the reveal, she would like, it's not actually Jaime. She thinks it's Jaime, and then it's like a Stark taking down a Lannister. That would be kind of crazy.
Oh, yes, and a lot of people were saying she'd use Littlefinger's face to get close to Cersei, but she's got to beat Ravens or whatever, somebody on horseback. I don't think there's going to be time. I think Cersei will know about his death, and if she sees him, she'll be suspicious. But I never thought about Qyburn's face. I think that's genius. Whoever said that, I think they're onto something there.
Oh my goodness, man. Another donation. You guys are nuts.
Bring it. The hype and love.
The hype. Sorry, I had to do that. Full effect. So Karen, you got to nominate someone else for the board. Crips, if you want to as well, or maybe we'll pick someone random from the chat. But Karen says about Arya, James. Arya picks up Brienne's former path and becomes a member of Jon's Kingsguard. Whoa, that's like super structured, though. I don't know if like Arya could like follow rules like that. You think she could?
I wonder, man. And it's going to be neat, for Jon to see what's happened with her. I mean, she's just total badass that somebody like Jon, he's going to run up, want to mess up her hair again and not, realize how freaking, she'll let him, of course. She loves him to death, but I'm just saying, It's going to take a little minute before he believes how badass she is. He's got to see her in action.
I mean, we don't have that many good fighters left, right? So it's like her having that Valyrian steel dagger is just a thing that is pointing us towards the direction of Arya doing some badassery for sure, right?
Are not kidding, man. I keep thinking about that too.
Your guys' nominations are awesome. Like all your nominations are like people that are already up there, like that are already super hype. Katrin is already up there. Yeah, we'll go. You good to go for another 10 minutes or so there, James? I know you have some stuff to do there, so we'll go for another 10 minutes, guys, and we'll try to get in as many questions as we can from you guys. So. Living My Rhapsody. Living My Rhapsody is pretty hype. We can get her on the board.
Put her on there. Put her on there. I love Living My Rhapsody.
She's always pretty hype. Or maybe I already have her on there. I don't know. I have to check. So, James, how about we pull a question from the chat? Guys, Q&A session. Next 10 minutes, we'll try to answer as many as possible.
All right, let's see. There's George. George in the chat. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
George R. Martin? No, I know. It's George.
Crips of Winterfell, do you have Lyanna Stark up there? Is she up there?
Who's that?
Is Lyanna Stark? Is she on the ball?
No, she's not. We'll put her up right now.
Good call.
Lyanna Stark, he said?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Lyanna Stark.
How is it spelled?
It is.
Is it Liana? Okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay, sorry, guys.
I lost it. I'm sorry.
Ugh, I keep on having to adjust it every time. Sorry.
Tina Sarah says Cersei deserves to be burned alive.
Yo, it'd be crazy,
Wow.
James? Let's talk about this. Will Jaime or Tyrion make her drink wildfire, or Arya? One of the three.
I could see that. I don't. I hate the poison deaths. Give me something quicker and less painful.
I mean, that's a pretty crazy possibility, right? Like, because Aerion Brightflame, one of the Targaryen, he thought he was going to be reborn as a dragon, and he drank wildfire. And I thought that would be a pretty cool parallel if they repeated because they repeated history a lot, right?
They do. They really do.
And she's kind of obsessed with not kind of obsessed. She is obsessed with wildfire and becoming very much like the Mad King. So it's like, I don't know.
I still wonder if that's not her dad anyway. That's a whole other video.
Yeah, right. I mean, and then Tyrion is actually the only Lannister. Like.
Mm-hmm. Love it. How poetic is that?
And then I don't want there to be more secret Targaryens, right?
Yeah. A lot of people feel the same way. They don't, but I don't know. I just think, why did we hear that? Why did we hear all that stuff? I guess to make you draw those conclusions.
I don't know. I mean, is Cersei going to get choked? Because there's a bunch of possibilities. Is Cersei going to get choked out? Is she going to get poisoned? Is she going to drink wildfire? What do you think is the most likely possibility?
I think the choking. I think choked out.
You think choked out?
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that you can't, give her the strangler. That's kind of, choked out. But I don't know. Chris has an interesting take on that when he's talking about, the Maggie the Frog prophecy, and I can't remember it word for word, but he's
Valonqar.
The Valonqar, and about after tears or whatever stream down your face. I can't remember the thing, but he's thinking maybe tears of Lys could be involved.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And so I don't rule out poisons. I think that's a cool way for her to go.
We have another donation. Hype and Smoke. Love you, boys.
Unbelievable, man. Bring it, people.
Wait. You guys are making it rain. I don't do that because our dollar is actually a coin, so it's much easier for you guys to do that with your dollar bills. But thank you everyone. Thank you so much for the donations. We really appreciate that. Just a reminder, we are going to be ending in a few minutes here. In the description of this video, you can go and check out. Actually, can we screen cap that? Here, I'll show. Oh, we got another donation from Crips. My goodness. We got to get to that in just a second. I'm going to screen cap it just so everyone, sometimes people have a hard time finding it. Go screen cap it. As you guys can see in the description of the video, it has all the information for me if you want to become a patron of the channel, or hit me up on Twitter. But we also have James's information right here. You can see that. And we're going to put his GoFundMe information there too. So if you guys are enjoying this and you guys know James, or you haven't decided to subscribe to his channel and you want to, the link is in the description of the video. All right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I think we'll get to a couple more questions. I think we have another comment from Crips here. Chris Winterfell says, Arya as Arya, guys, just like Walder Frey. The last face you'll see is a Stark. She can be the Valonqar, High Valyrian. You know what's really interesting too? You know how there's 7 gods in the Faith of the Seven?
Mm-hmm.
The Stranger, which is the representation of the god of death, is actually gender neutral, which actually relates to the Valyrian word Valonqar, which is gender neutral. So that's pretty interesting. Maybe there's a connection there because cool. Arya was referred to as Ari and Weasel, and she had all of these different nicknames, and she's very tomboyish. So she's kind of male and female, not transgendered, but I mean, she definitely has, she's one of those characters that is right on the cusp of that. Right,
dude. That's cool, man. I could see that.
So maybe George is trying to trick us a little bit more, or trying to troll us by doing that. Yeah, that'd be certainly an interesting move.
Which I think he's guilty of that.
Yeah, for sure. Any final thoughts? Like, I want you to give a bold prediction for Game of Thrones season 8 before we head off here, James. And I'm going to put Todd Cat on the wall. Give us something super spicy.
Bold prediction. You got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice, super spicy one.
All right. Let's see here. I think. All right. I was wrong on my Littlefinger prediction. Let me see what I can throw at you. Okay, here's one for you. We will not lose another Stark. How you like that one?
Say that again, sorry?
We will not lose another Stark.
Oh, so you don't think there's going to be another Stark death?
I
don't know, man. That's a hard one.
No reason for that.
I actually think that Bran is going to die physically. Okay. I think that he's going to enter. I think the final scene of the whole series is going to be him in a raven in a weirwood tree, and he's going to be overlooking them rebuilding Winterfell. I think that's going to be the very last.
That would be a cool scene. I dig that.
But I think people will think that he's dead, but he's actually in the weirwood tree.
Yeah, I could see that.
So he's technically not dead. So that's kind of cheating, I guess. But that's a great prediction.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are expecting the Starks to get wiped out. I just don't see it. I think we're done.
I really hope so, man. A lot of people want to see Sansa die.
They do. They do. A lot of them do, but I don't see why she has to. She suffered enough, man. They all have. Give them a little bit of a break, George, please.
Yeah, I agree. We have another comment here from Sherry, who's already on the wall of hype here. She says, if a woman gives birth to a Targaryen, they cannot give birth to a child from another house, or they die in childbirth.
Whoa.
So,
whoa.
Would that mean Daenerys is safe though? Because Jon is Targaryen and Stark. I mean,
seems like she would be, doesn't it? A lot of people seem to think she is going to go in childbirth. You're saying
that would be so shitty though, wouldn't it? Like she's like this.
I agree.
She's like Aegon the Conqueror. She's this warrior princess, this warrior queen. I don't know. I feel like that would be a super bittersweet way for Daenerys to go out. But I think that's where we're going to end it today, guys. Me and James both have a couple of things to do after this stream today, but we thought we would at least try to get an hour in with you guys today. I'm so hyped from screaming all the time that my voice is giving out on me. But we're really super happy that all of you joined us.
I've really enjoyed myself, brother. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Oh man, pleasure was all mine, and I'm sure everyone would agree in the chat that we had a blast today. And I see there's still a lot of questions from you in the chat. So what I can do is I can actually go look back at some of them now that they have the live chat replay, which is a super cool new feature that YouTube has. Yes. And I can go take some questions for next time. We should definitely do this another time, man. When we have a little bit more time, we can get to some more questions. Maybe we can do a whole Q&A episode where just the chat asks us questions.
I would love that. I mean, this is a first for me. Of course, like I told you, I had never done this before. I'm really digging it, man. It's way more comfortable than I thought it was going to be, and I think that's says a lot about you as a host. I surely appreciate that, and keep that hype wall rolling. I love that thing. That's so unique to you, and I think that just rocks.
I mean, I don't know where I came up with the idea, but one day I was just like, I wanted to do like a little calendar or something, or like just like a little thing. And I'm like, shit, man, I got a whole wall in my room that has nothing on it. My office, Hype HQ. People get mad at me when I don't call it Hype Headquarters. It was just they came up with that too, man. That's what I'm saying, man. These people are amazing, dude. Inspiration, I'm telling you. But yeah, we're gonna keep this going. Of course, we're getting closer to our goal. Con of Thrones is in 59 days for myself. I know it's probably a couple more extra days for you. I know you're like leaving. You're coming the day before or something. I'm going there 3 days before because last time I felt like I missed way too much of Nashville, so I got to go enjoy Dallas before and relax before I enter the con.
If I go, I'm going to go to Dealey Plaza and see, where JFK was assassinated. I got to see that. And I hear they got a pretty cool setup there, up in that book depository.
Yeah, and you know what? Any of you that are going to Con of Thrones, actually, we'll finish with a little Con of Thrones segment here because James is trying to get to Con of Thrones as well. He will be going. Any of you that are going to Con of Thrones, me and James are going to be hanging out at least once.
Yes.
We're going to get together for some drinks. It is James's birthday on the 27th. So if any of you are going to Con of Thrones, come hang out. It's going to be an absolutely great time. Anybody that's thinking of going, get your stuff now. Go. Like, don't even think about it. Just trust me. It is one of the best things that you can do if you want to hang out with people that like Game of Thrones. There's nothing quite like it, James. It's such a unique experience.
It was very unique for me, man. It was one of the best times I've ever had. Those 3 days were incredible. And I got to meet you there. That was really cool, dude. We actually spent, maybe a good hour hanging out, getting to know each other and everything. And so that's bled over into this this year, between cons. We've talked quite a few times, I'd say, a good handful. And it's just, that's the way this community is, dude. It's nothing but love in this community, and it blows my mind. And when this comes to an end, it's going to be rough, man. I hope these spinoffs keep everybody together. And
that's the thing, man. We need those book releases because that's why me and Gemma are doing the podcast. We want to continue the hype going until we get the prequels. Of course, me and Gemma are going to be covering some Marvel stuff too. We're moving not away from Game of Thrones, but we're adding some. I know you like Marvel too. I'm super hyped for Avengers Infinity War.
Oh yeah, everybody I talk to is, man. That last trailer just it hit me hard, man. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be another bittersweet thing too.
Actually, confirmation today that Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, will be leaving the Marvel franchise after the next Infinity. So he will either die in this movie,
right,
or in the next movie, or walk away. So there's only the possibility of Captain America being in 2 more movies. There will not be another Captain America movie. He will only be in the Avengers movies from now on. There's only 2 more left.
Wow.
That was announced this morning.
Wow. Don't die, Cap. Please don't die.
I know, man. When Thanos is like,
yes.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to say, I can do this all day. I don't know. It's just going to be like sick.
Yeah, yeah, I love that scene. Oh,
But man, guys, thank you so much for getting hyped today. Me and James really had a blast. Like I said, this won't be the only time we do this. How about we do another one of these before we get to Con Thrones? We got another 59 days.
please,
maybe
let's do it. Yeah,
let's do another one. You're gonna be back for the game night for whenever that is. We're gonna do Game of Thrones bingo with some drinks and stuff too. And I'll make sure we'll try to make sure we get to as many of your questions. And if you do have questions or you want to reach out to me or James, I'll go get James's. He's learning how to use Twitter. I'll put his Twitter in the description of this video to get him to try to use Twitter more. We got to laugh about that because James is really bad at replying to messages on Twitter.
The worst, man. I'm the worst.
But thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Thanks for all the donations. And like I said, go check out James' description of this video. Subscribe. The GoFundMe link information is going to be there. If you do want to support me or the channel or anything that we do here in the Game of Thrones community, all the links will be in the description of this video. Thanks again, guys. Hype and love.